Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we take on the high banks of Atlanta Motor Speedway back to the mile-and-a-half racing, fresh off of a playoff switch up with Joey Logano picking up the win in Pocono with a last lap caution ignited by myself after self-crashing, which was just beautiful. A rough day for us in Pocono, a rough ending I should say, but we have high hopes coming into a track type that we're more familiar with being successful with, and that's a mile-and-a-half. And of course, we take a look at the bracket tournament. We were successful against Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson, the big name that got eliminated in the fight for $3 million last episode. Now, as we come into round 3 of the Busch Light Bracket Challenge, where we are going up head-to-head against our own Joe Gibbs teammate Ty Gibbs, who eliminated William Byron in the last episode. Logano goes up against Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott versus Keselowski, and Chastain versus Chris Buescher. Chastain's really picked it up recently. Maybe keep an eye on him today here in Atlanta. He's always been so successful when it comes to mile-and-a-half racing, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him come out and have a shot to win here now, as he did pick up his first win of the season just recently. Now, here for myself though, of course we've had continuous offers on the table over the last few episodes. We're going to have a final meeting with some teams coming up, JRM as well as RFK and Joe Gibbs, probably all within the same weekend, and then we're going to make a decision on where we're going to go or if we're going to stay with Joe Gibbs going forward. We have a lot of things coming up, including a tire test actually at the new Denver Speedway that's coming next season. That's replacing Auto Club Speedway on the schedule, so that's going to be exciting as well. As we come through though into qualifying, a one-lap dash here with a goal of a 29.461. What can we put up on the board as we come through to cross the stripe? We do not beat the goal. It's a 29.576 that puts us P19 here. So not too bad though. P19, I think we've got a car capable of running top 10 for sure. Looking at the front row, it's the same front row as Pocono. Kyle Larson, as well as Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, and Rajan Carruth, top 5. How about Rajan Carruth here? He's been looking for some strong runs recently. We know he's got the pace, and he needs some good fortune as we come into this weekend. He's already in a must-win to make the playoffs. We had Truck Series in Texas, Xfinity in Dover this weekend. Riley Herbst picked up the win in the Truck Series for the Front Row Motorsports team. One of the up-and-coming prospects for RCR, Brent Cruz, inside the top 10 as he continues an impressive rookie season. As you see the rest of the finishing order in the Truck Series. Xfinity Series, Taylor Gray picking up another win as he continues a successful season in the Joe Gibbs number 20 over Brad Perez, Truex, Allgaier, Brandon Jones all in the top 5. Suarez, P11, Perez, Andres Perez there in P16, as you see the rest of the finishing order in the Xfinity Series. Now, let's get ready to go racing here from Atlanta on Sunday afternoon.
Round 3 of the Busch Light Bracket Challenge kicks off today after Joey Logano's shock win last week. A new driver in the playoffs and a big name of Kyle Larson eliminated from the bracket tournament. 2 shocks in one race. Anyone can now win this bracket tournament, and the path to the playoffs have also gotten tricky.
Right, boys, let's bounce back from, the ending there last week in Pocono. Don't see why we can't have a good day here.
We like this type of track, mate. Let's go get another win today.
The dominant driver, Kyle Larson, he starts from pole, eliminated last episode from the $3 million Busch Light Bracket Challenge, but he doesn't care. He has been unbelievable over the last 6-7 races or so and continues it into Atlanta as he is set to lead the field. To the green flag, Larson, Logano, the front row, just like Pocono, lead us underway now as we've got some work to do early on to make our way up inside the top 10. Ryan Blaney, you saw, gave up his qualifying position. He starts at the back with a brand new set of tires. He will have to work his way forward now as he has been very strong all season long. We know he is leaving Penske at the end of the season. Not quite sure exactly what his landing spot's going to be yet, but it's definitely going to be a landing spot that's good. Ryan Blaney is not going to leave Penske for an option that's worse. Denny Hamlin behind the wheel of the number 45. If you remember, he of course is replacing his own driver Tyler Reddick, who is out with injury currently for the next couple of races. Reddick is going to come back into that 45 and probably find himself in a must-win scenario to make the playoffs, as he was a bubble driver. Honestly, this is going to be interesting to see what kind of bounce back Reddick can have, because if you think about it, Ryan Blaney, I think about He had an injury a few seasons back and came back and ended up being on probably the best form he's ever been in this career mode ever since that injury. Could Tyler Reddick be the same? It was a similar situation. Blaney wasn't having a lot of success, has an injury, comes back and starts winning races, is fighting for championships in this career mode. Tyler Reddick, he has been winning so rarely in this career mode. What can he do when he comes back from injury now? As you saw a bit of a slide from the number 11 of Corey Heim. I'm stuck on the outside here and not really going anywhere. I want to be on the inside as Kyle Larson is early on leading the way. Here's one of the part-time drivers, Riley Herbston, the front row number 36 right now, working his way forward in that Monster Energy Ford Mustang as I was stuck on this outside line. Eric Jones making some headway there in that number 34. You see him going forward in that red and white Mustang as well, but I couldn't find a way to the inside. I kept being stuck on the top. I couldn't actually get clear to the bottom. By the time I would get clear, someone else is coming along to fill that up. So I was waiting patiently for the opportunity. This is one of the longer mile-and-a-half races on the calendar, so I wasn't too concerned about being stuck up on the top on lap 5 of over 90 laps of racing here now as we continue with 15 to go in stage 1, 20 laps, a bit of a short stage now as we slide up into the outside wall, actually through 1 and 2, and that might even be a blessing in disguise because this could allow us to the inside. No, it won't. Our teammate of Chandler Smith struggling. It's been a rough season for him. Finally, he was on our inside, but we clear him. So we will get through on that and manage P26. A lot of work to do as we would now finally migrate down to the inside. Corey Heim struggling. He's of course been that third driver for the 2311 team this season. It's not been pretty for him in his second full-time season of Cup Series competition, but we often see it takes a driver, nearly 2.5, 3 full seasons in this kind of last decade of NASCAR to really come into their own. So not really that concerned about Corey Heim yet until we go into next season. His ride is secure behind the wheel of that number 11 for at least another season, so he's not got to be concerned yet. But if he wants to make the playoffs, he has to win now as we were starting to make some headway, passing the 38 of Zane Smith, who's been running quite strong recently. Rumor has it he could be on the way to Penske Racing to replace Ryan Blaney, but that is just a small rumor right now circulating about as Chase Elliott, a huge crash into turn 3, up and over goes the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, collecting Noah Gregson. A violent accident there, a huge hit for Chase Elliott, and that's going to be race over for the number 9. And is that going to mean more for Chase Elliott in his season? I didn't see him get hit in a vulnerable position that puts the driver in harm's way, so he might be okay. Look at the POV from myself when this was happening. I had a heck of a view of that, seeing his car tumbling through the sky. A violent accident. We go down to the apron to avoid it, and the caution flies. Everybody would pit for 4 tires. We gain 4 spots. Kyle Busch loses 6. A horrific pit stop for the Trackhouse Honda as we get ready to go racing again. Now it's less than 10 laps to go in stage number 1. Bubba Wallace there just behind myself. A bit of contact there with the Andretti Global Honda of Sammy Smith, having a great run actually for Andretti. It's been a rough season for that team. Now Larson continues to lead the way through 1 and 2. Now Denny Hamlin trying to work his way forward. He's behind the 20 of our teammate of Christopher Bell. How about Todd Gilliland working his way forward as well? 3 wide behind. Chase Briscoe going up the inside. Zane Smith continuing to try and work his way forward. Joey Logano still up there in the mix as well. Logano, what an interesting turnaround he's had this season. He's now in the playoffs and what should be his final season of his Cup Series career, but still, we know that with Ryan Blaney leaving, it throws a bit of a curveball at him in that team. Never say never, but Logano could come back for more, and I wouldn't be surprised if we got an announcement come playoff time. I would imagine Penske would like to know for sure if Logano's coming back or not, as Kyle Busch there putting some pressure on my inside as we approach the final handful of laps in this stage. Lap 15 coming to 5 to go in stage 1. Logano actually takes the lead from Kyle Larson, picking up where he left off. Larson dominated Pocono. Logano stole the win on the last restart, and now Larson dominating the opening laps. Logano is going to take the lead and try to take the stage 1 victory now as we look up the inside of the 27 and move up into P15. Then just after that, getting up the inside of Kyle Busch, coming to 4 to go in the stage. This will put us into P14 now as it will clear that 99 jockey Honda on the exit of turn 2. Todd Gilliland just up the road in that number 2 Penske Ford Mustang, now the second highest running Penske driver. Now Blaney being the worst after starting at the back. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that 12 get himself into the top 10 sometime, towards the end of stage number 2 or so. Of course, stage 1, you don't have a lot of time. We've gone from about 19th to 13th as we start the final lap of the stage. closing up on this battle with our teammate of Val. You got the 6 of Kozlowski, who of course wants us racing for him next season. Shane Van Gisbergen just in front of that Wendy's machine alongside the 17 of Chris Bush from one of the bubble drivers. SVG also a bubble driver now, as we're going to make it 3 wide down this back straightaway into turn number 3, looking to try and get to the top 10, but that's not going to happen because it's right there to Busher, so we're going for 11th instead. Logano comes through, picks up where he left off in Pocono, wins stage number 1. Ty Gibbs Chastain gets 2nd and 3rd over Larson, who drops to P4. P11 for us. And one thing I love about NASCAR Heat 5, and I can't stress enough how much I love the AI in this game, Joey Logano has had a miserable season, and I haven't even touched his AI rating all season long, and suddenly he finds some heat, he gets good, he wins a race, he's been running consistently well, and is really turning his season around, and all that is possible without even having to make a mod change with the AI rating. That's one of the things I love about NASCAR Heat 5 AI. As we get ready to go green for stage at number 2, everybody pits for 4 tires, and we gain 1 spot in the pits. Kyle Busch, his teammate of Chastain, loses 6 positions in the pits as well, just like Busch did on the first pit stop. Now Chastain down to P9, Hamlin there in P7. We're back underway for stage number 2, and it's Ty Gibbs who gets the lead on the pit cycle. Our teammate there looking for his first win of the season. Kyle Larson takes a 3 wide for the lead. You can see it up there. Larson, known to be aggressive when it comes to racing for the lead. He's back to the frontier over Logano and Gibbs. How about Rajan Caruth running up there in the top 5 with his 2 Hendrick teammates? Byron up there as well. Elliott, of course, the other Hendrick car, out of the race after a violent accident. As we come through this turn 3 and 4 update actually on Chase Elliott. It was confirmed he has already been released from the infield care center. Everything all good for Chase Elliott. Good news to hear right there. As we dive down into turn 1 alongside Kozlowski, who's trying to get clear. Behind us in our mirror, you got our teammate of Bell, but how about the Legacy Motor Club rookie William Sawalich, who continues to be, I would say, equal, on par with Connor Zilish as the most impressive rookie driver. It's been Sawalich and it's been Zilish all season long as the 2 top rookies for sure. Jesse Love, I think we all expected a bit more out of him, but RCR continues to struggle. We wait and we're patiently waiting to see that team find some improvements. Here goes Ryan Blaney starting from the back now, running in front of myself, as Bell as well would find a way past me, but Blaney would actually now lose a spot to the 20 of Bell. I would try to go and push the 20 forward and follow him through up the inside. How about Zane Smith running inside the top 13 right now? Another great run for the 38 driver. He has really become the most impressive driver, honestly, at Front Row Motorsports, but I say that his teammate of Eric Jones having a very solid day as well, having a top 10 day here in Atlanta, so it seems like Front Row is clicking on something this weekend now. Ty Gibbs now back out in front over Kyle Larson, who doesn't seem to have the dominant car. Larson's got a race-winning car, but definitely not the dominant car, as he continues to battle it out for the lead. Logano maintains P3. We got a run in the back of the 6 of Kozlowski, the 20 of Bell, just like we did on the last lap in stage number 1. Here in stage 2, however, we're only 6 laps in, and we got 32 total, so 12 extra laps, and we would clear the 6 and bring our fight to the inside of the 20 Yahoo Toyota Camry down this back straightaway, looking for P11. I feel like we've got really good long run pace in this car. That's a common denominator, it feels like, in this 20 car this season, or sorry, this 19 car. Ross Chastain now out in front in that number 1 machine as we continue on. Lap 10, caution is out, and it's actually for his teammate Kyle Busch. Smoke pouring out of the back of the 99 Jockey Honda, and that's going to be the end of the day for Kyle Busch. Unfortunate there for him, as we will be boxing for 4 tires and feel, again, not really looking at adjusting the car. Pretty happy with how the car is driving, so we'll see how it does here on this restart. Josh Berry, Christian Eckes at the bottom of the grid so far. Jones loses a spot. We gain it over him. Into the top 10 we go. So it took us a little bit, but we've made it happen now as we're back underway, a little bit shy of halfway through stage 2. William Byron in that number 24 Valvoline Chevrolet up the inside now as we get ready to dive down into turn 1. It's Ross Chastain leading over Larson, Logano as well in the top 3 as Eric Jones goes through this outside, really stacking up. Caruth right there in the 48 now. We get up the inside of SVG down the back straightaway. We drop down to P11 behind the number 6 Coors Light Ford Mustang of Brad Kozlowski for that Roush Fenway Kozlowski Racing team. He's put an offer on the table for us next season that if we join his team, we as well can take full control of of the Xfinity program that RFK currently operates with one car. Haley Deegan, of course, behind the wheel, just won recently, actually. She will be in the Xfinity Series playoffs now as Chastain leads the way. Logano up to second. Denny Hamlin up into P3. He was in the mix. He won Stage 2 at Pocono and his return to semi-full-time racing for a few weeks now. He's up into P3 over Larson, who's dropped to fourth, and Larson's under pressure from the 24 of William Byron. So both Larson and Gibbs, two cars capable of fighting for the win today, dropping on this restart now halfway through stage number 2. We clear the 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen. Keselowski on the inside of the 48 over Stock Chevrolet. Rookie of the Year contender Rajah Caruth, who's trying to say, hey, I'm the best rookie this season. And he's, of course, got the best car of any of the rookies, maybe outside of Corey Heim and the number 11. Of course, I keep thinking Heim's a rookie. He is not. He drove the 47 for a season in the last season of this career mode. Contact, the 6 has blown a tire and we had no idea, and he plows us into the outside wall.
Please apologize to Gary for me. The right front blew out.
So what just happened?
Right front blew out on the 6 there. It wasn't his fault.
Bring it to us, mate. We'll do some repairs here.
So, Keselowski's going to have to pit. He's not out of the race. We have to pit. We got some damage as well. 2 seconds of repairs. Not that much. But I decided it might as well come in anyways and throw 4 tires on it. And honestly, we might even be able to get to the top 10 before the stage is over. Carson Hocevar pitted as well in the number 8 Nations Guard Chevrolet for JRM. As we're back underway here from Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it's going to be a carving our way back through the field. 10-lap type of deal. Well, 12 laps, I should say. We're back going, though, and who's going to get through the field quicker, myself or Keselowski? We both seem to have pretty even cars here. Now, here's where things get interesting. If you didn't pit right there, you're a little bit short on field by a couple of laps, so I was a bit surprised that nobody else did come into the pits. So Keselowski and myself are for sure safe on field. Everybody else is close. You might be able to stretch it to the end of the stage. It will be really close, so I'm curious to see if everyone's going to try and stretch it, or is it going to be a select few that try and stretch it, or are we now the favorite to win stage 2 by if it simply stays green? We'll have to wait and see. We've still got another 10 laps to go, but we were absolutely flying through this field, coming up behind Timmy Hill, the number 62, one of the part-time cars in the field, alongside that 36 right there, the Monster Energy Ford Mustang of Riley Herbst, who's having a solid run. Noah Gregson just in front of that 88. He was involved in that first accident, that violent accident with Chase Elliott. We would go 3 wide and get around both of these guys here as we continue to move our way forward into the top 20 now with 9 laps to go in stage at number 2, passing Sawalich as we went down into turn 3. We'll dive up the inside of the Fastenal Ford Mustang of Chase Briscoe. Chastain still out in front now to the inside of the 27, and on the outside of Alex Bowman, who's having a solid run here today now. And when we've seen Richard Childress Racing run well, it's been that 31 of Alex Bowman. It's not been the 3 of Austin Hill. It's not been the 33 of Jesse Love either. It's been that 31 of Alex Bowman as we continue to fly our way forwards here now, passing Blaney, Smith, Gilliland as well. This will put us into the top 12. Now we're going to find out, is anybody going to be pitting? We're going to see over the next couple of laps for sure. Drivers that are not confident if they can make it. Look at the track map now as we're looking up the inside of the 20, but out of turn 4, we've got some takers at the back part of the field into the pits now. We'll clear the 20 maybe. No, he's going to stay alongside down this back straightaway. But as we came through 3 and 4, here we go. Byron's in. I believe that was Gibbs in the 45 of Hamlin. And we will see some more probably pit at the end of this 29th lap. Yes, Shane Van Gisbergen stays on the track, but the 17, 48, I saw the 34, I think Logano as well all come in. We're up into P4 with 3 to go in stage at number 2. We would get to the outside of Shane Van Gisbergen. Larson pits from 2nd. SVG pits from 3rd. This puts us into 2nd. Chastain's going to try and make it to the end of the stage. Now, everyone that's going to be losing a lap here is going to get that lap back because we're all going to have to pit no matter what at the end of this stage. So you're not really harming yourself too much now as we start the final lap of the stage, and I was really surprised to see Chastain try and stretch it, but it's going to work. Chastain hanging on nearly 4 seconds ahead. Keselowski 3 seconds behind us now as we head down this back straightaway. But this is going to be a really weird looking top 10 that will be the same top 10 we have at the end of the stage, starting stage 3, of course, because everyone else is trapped a lap down if they already pitted. Crash at a turn 4. So Wallet slides through the infield after losing a rear tire. Caution's going to fly. Chastain on the final lap wins stage number 2. It's going to be P2 for us. Larson outside of the top 10. Look at the names in the top 10. Heim, Hocevar, Hill, Priest, as well Christian Eckes. As you're going to see, some drivers that are a lap down are electing to pit. but the vast majority will take the wave around, which means we're going to have about 4 lap fresher tires than the majority of drivers that just took the wave around as we get ready to go green on the front row alongside Chastain. So basically, Keselowski blowing a tire and running us into the wall, bringing us into the pits, actually did us a favor. It gets us P2 in the stage, and we actually gained points on Kyle Larson in the regular season battle for the first time in I don't know how long. The third stage, though, it's underway. We focus in on the Busch Light Bracket Challenge now. Our head-to-head driver is our own teammate, Ty Gibbs, in the 54. He's going to have to work his way forward right now as we head down this back straightaway. Chastain clearing that Wendy's Honda Civic. He has been very strong today. This might be Chastain's race to lose. Keselowski through into P2 behind us. It's Heim. It's Haley as well as we exit turn 4, coming through to cross the stripe, completing lap 1 of stage 3. 32 laps to go, the same as we had in stage 2. Only 1 extra lap in this third stage compared to that second stage, and now we'll try to drive away from the cars behind. A lot of those cars took the wave around, which means they got older tires. As you can see on lap 61, a fight up the inside of the 6th. Chastain, however, he is in a league of his own. He's driving away, and I don't think anyone's got anything for Chastain at this point. As we exit turn 4, we were still side by side with Keselowski. He is not making this easy. We, of course, have had some battles this season. This is a guy trying to recruit us to his team, but he's saying, hey, I want you to drive for me, but I'm still going to fight you just like anybody else. And look at this, Chastain driving off in the sunset as we continue side by side with Keselowski. A good, clean battle. Keselowski, one of the cleaner drivers in the field, but the caution is out. It's for the 06 blowing an engine. Austin Cindric in his final season with Meyer Shank, who is shutting down at the end of the season, is going to be done for the day here. And we see some very split strategy. Some pit, some stay out. We are going to elect for a track position. You cannot make it if you pit now, so we remain on the racetrack. A bunch of the cars that we're pitting are not cars that have been huge threats for the front running today, so I'm not too concerned about them. We get back underway here from Atlanta now, lap 66 of 91. 26 laps to go. We're right to the back of the one of Chastain, but hey, it's crunch time. We gotta go. Chastain, he leaves the lane open. We're gonna take it. We hook the wheel left to the inside of the door of Chastain as we exit turn 2. Toyota has only won 2 races this season. It's been from myself at the Daytona 500 and then Sonoma a few races later. It's been winless for myself and Toyota ever since. Chastain has that power in that Honda. He was clear easily and runs away already. And Keselowski back to my outside again. Corey Heim just behind in that number 11 for 23-11 Racing as we dive down into turn 1. Keselowski still not making things easy, but we power through, clear of the Coors Light number 6 Ford Mustang. What do we have for Chastain? We were oh so close last season to winning this race. Can we do it finally here today in season 4 as we try to reel in this number 1 Wendy's Honda? But I don't think it's really going to happen here today. Chastain's just got so much pace in that car, and look at it, lap 69, and here he is running the wall even. And when he does go up to the outside, it is my chance to gain a little bit of ground on him, but we're still not gaining much. Chastain is simply in a league of his own. He continues to stretch out the gap. We are driving away from Keselowski, who's actually dropping off a bit, so that 6 in not great shape now as we come to a lap later now, lap 71, and you can see Chastain, it doesn't matter where that one car goes at this point, he's simply quicker. 20 laps to go here from Atlanta, and we're just kind of on an island of our own, running P2, hoping that something's going to happen. We're 1 second behind Chastain. Keselowski is now side by side with Eric Jones, and Keselowski is going to lose a spot to him. Shane Van Gisbergen in the top 5, having a great run in that number 97. One of the playoff bubble drivers that needs a good day like this now as he can try to work his way forward now, and it's a tire failure. SVG blows the tire into turn 1. Caution is going to fly, and oh my goodness, just as we were talking good about him, it's going to be day over for Shane Van Gisbergen. We're going to make our final pit stop of the day. 4 tires and feel everybody's going to do the same as SVG is going to be done for the day. William Byron, Ryan Preece remain on the racetrack. That's a shocking call right there. They cannot make it to the end. A baffling call there. Myself, getting out of the pits ahead to Chastain, puts us P3, and Chastain on our outside. This is a restart where we have potential to run away. We make a move 3 wide immediately on the 24, and we'll go to the lead here in Atlanta. Chastain, though, unfortunately for me, was able to follow through, get down to the inside. He goes 3 wide. Ryan Priest with a run to the back of myself as we head down into turn 3. Keselowski trying to go around the outside of these guys. Priest blocks the one of Chastain. Perfect for myself as we roll through 3 and out of turn 4, out in front here again in Atlanta. What can we do down this front straightaway to cross the stripe? With lap 78 underway, Keselowski is going to get through, but Chastain gets through as well. It's game on. They've already run us down as we head down this back straightaway. I throw a block on the 1, let the 6 to the outside. Not concerned about Keselowski. We know he fades on the long run, but Chastain fades nowhere. Here he comes up the inside, capitalizing on my car drifting up the track. A bit of contact there with the one. We lean on each other. 13 laps to go. Who's going to come out on top? Chastain clear into turn number 1. Kyle Larson into the mix as well. Watch out for him. Where's Ty Gibbs? We know we need to beat him head-to-head in this Busch Light Bracket Challenge to keep our hopes of a $3 million prize alive. Larson flying forward now to my inside as we cross the stripe. Lap 80, 12 laps to go, and here comes Chris Buescher as well. Larson working his way back into the mix to try and win yet another race in his dominant season it's been so far. Here comes Chris Buescher up my inside as we exit turn 2. The RFK driver, the only winless driver on that team so far, has continued to be consistent enough to be inside the playoffs and keep himself in battles for wins as well. Eric Jones having a great race in that 34, continuous all day long. He's into the top 5 as well as we're up the inside of the 17. We're leaning on the 17 of Buescher a little bit. Chastain trying to drive away. Larson clearly the second fastest car. He's driving away from all of us as well. Here comes the 34 as we maintain this battle with Buescher. Eric Jones is going to make a 3 wide up the inside. I back out of it now using that slipstream from the 17, but unfortunately Jones gets clear as we exit 4 down to 5th with 9 laps to go. We're fading, but I think we've got a top 3 car still. We don't have a car good enough for the 5. We don't have a car good enough for the 1, but if we can pass these 2 guys, I think we're going to be in good shape, and you never know, a late race caution might be coming. And Ty Gibbs, speaking of on the way forward, Ty Gibbs is closing in on us. What a race this has been from start to finish, and now 3 wide for 3rd. Jones wanted 3rd, but I said, you know what, I'm going to try and get both of you guys here now. We'll get past the 34 into turn number 3 alongside Buescher again. Larson's not cut enough for Chastain. Nobody does now as we continue wheel to wheel with the 17 Fastenal Ford. As we roll through 3 and 4 lap later, lap 86 coming to 87 will clear Buescher. Back into the top 3 now, and Gibbs is continuing to close. He is faster. Does he have enough time? That's really the main question. Now he's to the back of the 34 and the 17, but Logano as well is to the inside of Gibbs. That's perfect for us. Logano with another strong day in Atlanta now. Lap 89, 3 laps to go. Logano is moving forward. He is going to run us down, and he's bringing Gibbs with him now as we roll through 1 and 2. Larson blows a tire. Caution's going to fly. It's going to be overtime here from Atlanta. Larson loses it, and it's going to be the end of the day for the number 5 as Buescher is electing to pit alongside William Byron. Byron is expected. Buescher is certainly not. 4 tires for a 2-lap dash. That doesn't make a lot of sense unless they feel like they can't make it on field. But we see Haley, Briscoe, Heim all pitting as well, and we are going to be promoted to the front row as Larson, the only thing that can take his dominant run down is a tire failure. We saw that in Darlington. So now we're on the front row for a 2-lap dash in overtime. Ross Chastain looking for his 2nd win. We're looking for win number 3. Chastain could match us on wins here if he hangs on for the 2 laps. We know he's got the car to beat, but 2 laps, anything can and will happen. We're back racing now, and it's the first time we've been really truly fighting for the win in a while as we dive down into turn 1. Logano in the mix. Ty Gibbs just behind the 22. We need to make sure we stay ahead of that 54 as well to keep our hopes alive in the Busch Light Bracket Challenge. Clear out of turn 2 is Chastain. Jones on the top behind alongside that 22 Hunt Brothers Ford Mustang. Gibbs showing the nose on Logano, who's going to maybe shut the door into turn 3. Yes, he will. Gibbs can't get there. We're right to the back of the 1 as we exit turn 4. A little bit tight on the exit of the corner. Chastain pulls out by about a car length. White flag in the air. Who's going to get back here first? Chastain or myself? Maybe Logano if we get caught up racing the 1. We arc ourselves wide down to the yellow line through 1 and 2. Chastain leaves the lane open. We plow on the exit. Couldn't quite get to the inside there. I was just flying up to the back of them, but we're close with the slipstream to the inside into turn 3. One set of corners to go on this final lap in Atlanta, wheel to wheel, side by side through 3 and 4. It's going to be an Atlanta classic. Chastain clear on the exit of 4 with the momentum, and Ross the boss Chastain wins in Atlanta. 2 wins on the season for the watermelon farmer. Runner-up for us here. Unfortunate, we were so strong at the end of that race. We threw what we had at him, and it just wasn't enough. On top of that, Joey Logano saying, hey, we are here to fight. Another great result for Logano. Gibbs ends up 4th, which means we knock him out in the bracket challenge. Jones in the top 5. And how about Rajah Caruth as well? P6, he is starting to find something. Zane Smith, another great day as well. And looking at the bottom half, of course, Larson, actually, it was not day over. He did get P23. He was still in the race to finish it out. Of course, at the bottom of the grid, the DNFs, SVG, Sawalich as well, Bush, and Chase Elliott. Looking at the playoff standings, Chastain is up to P3 in the playoff standings over Chase Elliott. And of course, the drivers on the outside looking in is where it gets interesting with the Bubba Wallace, the Todd Gilliland's, SVG, Busher, those guys all in there. Of course, a big hit for SVG today and a great day for Chris Busher. Looking at the regular season standings, however, and right now Kyle Larson, of course, continues to lead that over myself, who we jump back into P2 as Elliott with the DNF, and Chastain as well overtakes Chase Elliott. Blaney continues in 5th, and Gibbs and Bell, Byron, 3 drivers in a row without wins on the season. And to wrap things up, the bracket challenge comes down to 4 drivers, 2 rounds left. Joey Logano is going to go head-to-head with the Atlanta winner of Ross Chastain, and I will be going head-to-head with the driver trying to recruit me, Brad Keselowski. Following next episode, there will be 2 drivers and a 1v1 head-to-head remaining, going for the $3 million. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.